I just turned it on, girl. I'm sorry. Feelings? And good morning, I'm Rena Nakano at the Oroville Dam. There may be an excavator on top of those rocks right now, but in a few hours they'll be bagged up and be filled in into the holes that are still on the spillways. We'll have more on this situation and the helicopter use coming up.
Sacks later this morning, again by daylight, will be thrown out there to the emergency spillway to shore up that area where the erosion occurred yesterday. Erosion that led to the emergency evacuation of 188,000 people as they feared the catastrophic failure of that emergency spillway. So everyone was evacuated and trying to set things in a plan to shore that area up, all the while drawing the lake's level down below the level of the emergency spillway. So if the water flow stops, the erosion will stop. Now they're going to get there to see what the damage is done and the integrity of that structure before they can even think about lifting the evacuation order. So at this point, they want to get their engineers in there, get these bags in there, what are akin to sandbags, but on a much larger scale. They'll be flying these in and dropping them in that position. So that's where they stand now. The Department of Water Resources saying that they would like to drop the lake's level by 50 feet. That would take the pressure off of the emergency spillway. It would also give them a chance to safely get in there, de-water that area, and get a closer look at the structure itself. And they hope at some point shut down the main spillway right now, which is pumping out 100,000 cubic feet per second of water. They'd like to get in and see what kind of damage has occurred to that spillway as well, hoping to minimize the damage, any ongoing damage to that spillway, because they know that not only do they need that spillway to get through this emergency, but also through the rest of the wet season and then into the runoff season. They say at 100,000 cubic feet per second, for a full day, they could drop that lake by about a third, or 1.2 million acre feet, all the while knowing that there's another storm coming. So more Lake Oroville is going to have to go out to the
or 5:30, whatever. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. Good morning, you guys. Yeah, I was actually here on Friday, and it was business as usual. Everything seemed to be normal. But coming up here this morning with my photographer, literally, Paul was right. It was literally a ghost town because we saw nobody. But the activity here in the city of Oroville is actually at the top of the overlook right now. You can see excavators and workers working out here to make sure they cordon off all those rocks. They're going to be bagging that, and once the helicopters arrive, those helicopters are going to be taking those bags of gigantic rocks. They're going to be using it to fill in the holes from both of the spillways. So to backtrack, let's remember on Tuesday we saw those heavy storms that created that hole on the Oroville Dam's main spillway. Now, because water levels continued to increase in the dam because of the snow melt, the Department of Water Resources had no choice but to use it even though it was damaged. Fast forward to Saturday when water levels exceeded 100% of capacity for the dam, so water began flowing over the emergency or auxiliary spillway for the first time in its 48-year history. Now, unlike their main spillway, which is kind of like a slide where water just drains down into the river, the emergency spillway is a weir or a reserve dam that allows water to flow over the top of it and down onto the hillside. But because the entire emergency spillway was not lined with the concrete, unfortunately, it began eroding the side of the hill and undermining that structure. So to prevent water from carving out even more of the hill, DWR doubled the amount of water coming out of the dam from 55,000 cubic feet per second to about 100,000. And yesterday, they started bringing in these rocks that you're looking at right now to the top of the overlook here. This is usually a nice place where people could hang out and just check out the dam, but unfortunately it is almost close to 100% right now. The only thing you're going to be looking at are these rocks. You can see that the excavator is on top of them right now, and a lot of them are being cordoned off to the side there, and then the excavators are going to be taking in these rocks inside gigantic sandbags essentially to create rock bags. Now, once that happens here, the helicopters are going to be taking that into the whole part of the spillway to patch things up. Of course, this is a temporary fix. We don't know exactly what the long-term fix is going to be, but this temporary fix can at least divert some of the water from going straight down into the Feather River, of course, stopping it from eroding it completely. So hopefully this serves as somewhat of a temporary fix so it doesn't get worse. In terms of evacuations, unfortunately, 188,000 people remain under evacuation and warning orders. We don't know exactly when they can go back home. Reporting live here in Oroville this morning, I'm Rena Nakano. I'll send it back to you. Okay, in the meantime, I think we have KTLA right now.
Yeah, how far out?
It's 6:07 right now. I know we had 6:15 somewhere. Hold on. I can't tell. I'm gonna text Taylor. 6:15 San Diego. 6:15. 6:15 San Diego. Yeah, it's 6:08 right now. Yeah. So hold on. I have their number. Where's Taylor's email? Okay, here we go. Oh, look at all these people wanting us. Oroville Live. Here we go. KTLA. Okay, I need. What is KSWB number? KTLA, and then 705 KTBU. Take my mic flag off again. San Diego 6:15. Right after, they are going to roll on you, doing it one more time so they can have a look live in the can for later.
Maybe it's the hole in the first one.
I don't know.
I guess it's better than having another hit.
I don't care. Whatever. Thank you.
I'll care for it.
Thank you.
It's better than having.
Do you want me to call you in? Sir? Huh? Come on, Dan. Just kidding. I have not. No, I haven't. Good thought, good thought. Oh my God, at 6:45 we have Fox LA. That's KTLA. This is Fox LA, 6:45. KTLA is a Tribune station, Fox LA is a Fox station. Same shit. Yes, I can. Good morning. It's Rena. Okay, do you guys have VO and stuff ready? Got it. Thanks, girl. Is it Raul and Shally again? Okay, cool. Hi, good morning.
I see you on the news earlier.
All of us are here.
Now you gotta grab another party.
San Diego. How much time? How much time? Mic check audio. Mic check audio. Rena in Oroville. Rena in Oroville. We have one. We have one. We have one.
Thank you.
We have 45. We have 45. 30, 30. I'll peel out that way. Stand by, here we go. Good morning. Yeah, Raul and Shelley, remember the last time I came up and talked to you guys is when we were making snow angels in Lake Tahoe, saying, yay, what a great relief it is to see all this water coming down, this snow coming down. Unfortunately, it's down. Too much water here in Northern California, causing lots of problems out here in Oroville. Right now, I'm going to take a step away so you can see this, but there's a lot of heavy machinery up here on the top of the hill right now. You can see rocks being piled up. Those rocks are actually being bagged up in something that looks like a sandbag, but much bigger. I'm going to call them rock bags. And then helicopters are going to be dropping them off in a damaged spillway that was broken actually Tuesday. So let's go back to what happened last week. Starting Tuesday, we saw heavy storms up here in Northern California, and that actually damaged Oroville Dam's main spillway. Now, because the water levels continued to increase in the dam, the Department of Water Resources had no choice but to continue using it. Fast forward to Saturday, water levels exceeded 100% capacity, so water began flowing over into the emergency or auxiliary spillway for the first time ever in its 48-year history. Now, unlike their main spillway, which is kind of like a slide that comes out of the dam, this emergency one is more of a weir or a reserve dam, where if water exceeds the regular dam, it kind of just overflows. But unfortunately, because this was not lined with concrete the entire way, it started to erode and undermine that structure. So to prevent water from further carving out the side of the hill, DWR, the Department of Water Resources, doubled the flow from its main damaged spillway from 55,000 cubic feet per second to 100,000 CFS. So yesterday, you're seeing us back out live right here in front of the rocks. They actually started bringing some of these gigantic rocks onto this outlook over here in Oroville. The hope is they're going to bag this up and fill in those holes that were damaged because of the erosion and also the storms. Now, the good news is the water level in the dam has gone down significantly, and there's no longer water flowing into the auxiliary spillway. So as these workers prepare for this sandbagging / rock bagging situation, the Department of Water Resources definitely keeping a very close eye on this whole situation. But I do want to say there are 188,000 people still evacuated. You know, it was almost like a ghost town coming up to Oroville this morning because everyone basically had left the city and surrounding areas because of this very scary situation. Reporting live in Oroville this morning, I'm Rena Nakano for Fox 5 News. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem. I also heard that you guys are going to be rolling on a look live. Is that correct? Okay. All right, sounds good. Thank you. I'm going to take my ear out. And it's also Raul and Shally, right? Or Shally? Raul and Shally. Got it. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Roland, Shelley. Yes, the situation is absolutely volatile out here in Oroville as the Department of Water Resources and workers here prepare to make these rock bags. They have extremely large excavators on top of these rocks right now. The goal is to make these rocks into bags and have helicopters actually drop them into the holes that are created in the spillway. So to revert back to last week, let's take you back to last Tuesday when we saw heavy storms up here in Northern California that created a gaping hole in Oroville Dam's main spillway. But because water levels continue to increase in the dam, the Department of Water Resources has no choice but to use it. Let's fast forward to Saturday when water levels exceeded to 100% capacity. That's when water began flowing over the emergency into the auxiliary spillway for the first time ever. Now, unlike their main spillway, which is kind of like a slide that comes out of the dam, the emergency or auxiliary spillway is a weir or a reserve dam. This allows water to flow over to the top and down onto the hillside. But unfortunately, because the spillway was not lined with concrete in its entirety, it began eroding and undermining their structure. So to prevent water from further carving out the side of the hill, DWR, or the Department of Water Resources, doubled the flow to its main damaged spillway from 55,000 cubic feet per second to about 100,000 CFS. Now let's fast forward to yesterday. They started bringing in these rocks and boulders to a staging area at the top of the hill. That's where we are right now. And of course, the goal is to bag up these rocks and have helicopters drop them off in places where the spillway needs to be filled in. Now, of course, the good news is the water level in the dam has gone down significantly and water is no longer flowing over the auxiliary spillway. Now, as these workers prepare with these rock baths, the engineers at the Department of Water Resources are definitely keeping a very close eye at this entire situation so it doesn't get any worse. As for the 188,000 people who are evacuated in this area, unfortunately, they do not know when they could come back to their homes. But they said they will monitor the situation, so hopefully it will be soon. Reporting in Oroville this morning, I'm Rena Nakano for Fox 5 News. Hey, did that turn out? Hello, guys. Did that turn out okay? Hello, San Diego. I'm sure they're done. Yeah.
I hope.
Well, they were rolling already, so
Okay, good.
they could extra roll. It's not that big of a deal, right?
And then
Okay.
what's our next
Hold on.
one?
6:22, so our live again.
Oh, ours is next?
I think ours is next.
Take the mic. Reassemble.
No. So.
We're the hardest ones working out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone else is.
Chilling in between shots. Oh, not us. Alright, I'm gonna go do not a Facebook Live, but a video segment.
Hey, good morning. I'm Brian Hickey live here at Oroville Dam. Our crews have worked through the night, pulling rocks into bags and put out there at the emergency spillway where they are still fearful of a catastrophic failure. Why evacuation orders are still in place.
It's 27. We have a 28 now. Do we not have a tease? Oh, okay. Just checking. We're good. Thank you. Awesome. Got it. Yeah. What's up, Charles? I have a tease coming up. No, what?
All right.
Uh-huh. Oh. Okay. Disparaging remarks of the area.
Stand by.
Okay, hold on. And good morning, I'm Rena Nakano in Oroville. Crews are out here overnight making sure that they prepare to fill in those holes that were created in the spillway. They have sandbags, what look to be rock bags that they're preparing right now. We'll have the details on this coming up. Oh, sorry. Okay, sure. Hey, sorry I had to hang up on you. I had to teach. Anyways, so, apparently, yeah. Yeah, that's so, well, yeah, I've been in the, yeah, I haven't even been out here, and I haven't remember some anything, but, so, maybe they're crazy.
And right now we are sitting atop Oroville Dam at the Visitor Center, and you can see behind us here the parking lot has been turned into a construction site where excavators have worked throughout the
The
night.
station didn't hear it. The station that was streaming, so it may have been something else that they heard.
Observation area, and then being bagged up into large bags and eventually be pulled out to the site where they are most concerned about that erosion on the emergency spillway. This is work that is continuing through the night here at the observation center here above Oroville Dam. Their hope is to use these bags full of rocks to shore up that area where erosion started yesterday afternoon after water began spilling over the emergency spillway. That erosion was working its way back toward the footing of that spillway, at which point they thought there could be the potential for a catastrophic failure of that cement structure, which is the emergency spillway. That triggered the evacuation orders, and those orders are still in place until those engineers can get out there by daylight and get a chance to look up close and personal at that damage and the severity of the damage done to the emergency spillway. So for now, evacuation orders are in place.
Well, the latest right now is that about an hour ago they just did a shift change for all the workers out here, but you can see that people have been here overnight trying to prepare these rocks and putting them into bags. The whole point right now is to prepare all of this so they can fill it in the eroded spillways that basically happened on Tuesday after that storm. So let's take you back then. Last Tuesday, we saw those heavy storms that created that gaping hole in the Oroville Dam's main spillway. But here's the catch. Because the water levels continued to increase in the dam, the Department of Water Resources had no choice but to use this damaged spillway. Let's fast forward to Saturday. That's when water levels exceeded 100% capacity. So water began flowing over their emergency or auxiliary spillway for the first time in its history. Now, unlike the main spillway where water drains out of the river into what looks like a slide, the emergency spillway is more of a weir or a reserve dam that flows the water over the top and down into the hillside. But unfortunately, because the entire emergency spillway was not lined with concrete, again, they've never had to use this before, it began eroding and undermining that structure. So to prevent water from further carving out the hillside, DWR doubled the flow of its main damaged spillway from 55,000 to 100,000 CFS, that's cubic feet per second. Now, yesterday night, they started bringing in these gigantic rocks on the road and into the hill over here. It's kind of like a staging area on top of the hill where you dam. Now, the goal, of course, is to bring them up here, bag them up, and have a helicopter drop them down into damaged areas of both the main and auxiliary spillway. Now, the good news is, while these guys are working really hard out here, the water levels in the dam has definitely receded, and water is no longer flowing over into the auxiliary spillway. But, you know, we're not out of the woods yet, guys. This is definitely a lot of work still continuing out here, where crews have been here all night, like I said. The Department of Water Resources definitely keeping a close eye on this situation. They're also calculating when they need to bring up these helicopters up here, of course, to dump this rock straight into that hole. Reporting live out here in Oroville this morning, I'm Rena Nakano. I'll send it back to you. Thank you. Happening now, top 7. All right, now we have... All right, now we have... 7:05.
Yeah, they're getting all the help that they can get right now. We're still on top of this morning, and to get the perspective of what's happening behind me, we've got rocks and boulders being crushed upon the building. And what they are having helicopters basically taking these rocks around
right. Calling in. Yeah. The only place where you can actually see the spillway from is over there. You can kind of see it right there. Do you see that water misting right there a little bit? Yeah, that's the main spillway.
They decide that's what they want to see over there. But once the helicopters start flying, I think we're staying here.
This is Zorian Station.
How is it? You have to give her a shout.
Shout out to Zorian.
They're crazy bug-eyed.
Oh, yeah.
Have you
What's
seen
her
her
name
dog?
again?
Crazy ear.
Yeah, it's like this double the
radar.
size of her. Oh, I hear Oroville. Good morning. I don't know if they're asking for me or not. Good morning, Fox Los Angeles. My friend Walter Station. Hi, Fox Los Angeles. This is Rena. How are you? Okay. Marla and Tony, you said? Okay, got it. No problem.
How far out you think?
How much time? Good morning, Tony and Marla. Yeah, things are actually shaping up really incredibly out here in the city of Oroville. 188,000 people were evacuated, but up here inside the top of the area of the Lake Oroville, you can see that a lot of workers are busy. You can see those rocks underneath that gigantic excavator. What's been happening overnight is that all of those rocks have been brought up over into the outlook. They're going to be excavated into sandbags. They're going to be making these gigantic rock bags so that they can fill up the hole that was created because of that spillway erosion. So let's revert back to what happened in Tuesday. You saw heavy storms that created a gaping hole in Oroville Dam's main spillway. But because those water levels continued to increase in the dam, the Department of Water Resources had no choice but to continue using that damaged spillway. Now, water levels on Saturday exceeded 100% capacity, so water began actually spilling over to their emergency or auxiliary spillway for the first time ever. Now, unlike their main spillway where water drains down into the river, the emergency spillway is more of a weir or a reserve dam, which allows the water to flow over the top and down the hillside. But because the entire emergency spillway was not lined with concrete, it began eroding and undermining the structure. So to prevent water from further carving out the side of the hill, the Department of Water Resources doubled the flow from its main damaged spillway from 55 to 100,000 cubic feet per second. So now we're just live out here. You can see that the rocks are being prepared to be brought down into that spillway. Of course, in a couple of hours, there are going to be helicopters that are going to be taking down these rock bags and filling in those holes. Now, the good news right now, Tony and Marla, is that the water over the auxiliary spillway